Welcome to History 2020. My name is Dr. Sawyer. I'll be your professor for today and hopefully for the rest of the semester. Now, you guys see why it is that I always said, hopefully for the rest of the semester. Because this is online. So, am I still your professor? Of course I am. That's the only answer. Let's go over what is going to change because something has to. Before we go on, though, I want to say something. Here's our motto, okay? Because it's frustrating right now with all of the things that we can't do. My goal, focus on the things we can do, and we can do a lot. One of the things you can do is stay home, wash your hands, defeat the coronavirus. I'm not trying to lose. I'm trying to lose to some weak disease that, what's it doing? Just ravaging the world economy and killing people. Okay, yeah, stay inside, wash your hands, take care of your loved ones. Now, we move on. I guess the best way to say this is that the way the class is structured, I'm trying to give you the best possible education that I can, but it's going to be up to you to do the work. Can't be on you. I understand that for a lot of you, you're struggling with balancing work and life, and I might know something about that as someone who recorded this lecture already once today and then had to re-record it right now at night because I had to take care of my 5-year-old son, Solomon, who is at home and is in classic form. I think you know what I mean. So I understand that a lot of you guys are dealing with a lot of issues in terms of accessibility. So the way this class works and is going to work is I'm going to be giving lectures or giving you a documentary depending on the day. Just follow the schedule. I will be recording these as we go. I want to be able to answer questions if you have them. I want to be able to address things that are going on in the class. The idea of just shotgunning a bunch of lectures seems not fun to me and probably not the most useful to you. So I'll be recording these and posting the lectures on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, unless there's a documentary. Most weeks there will be a documentary. Fortunately for you and fortunately for me, there are some fantastic documentaries that have come out recently about history. So I'll be sharing those with you and offering you some other alternatives if you're interested in learning more. So here's how the change is going to go. And I'll just go through the syllabus. If you want to get it out, we'll go through. First of all, the changes I've made, they're all in red. They're in the emphasis format for the styles. So you'll be able to tell what's changed. My office hours will be online Zoom. If you want to make those, go ahead, email me through D2L, please. Also, what I'll be doing is during the regularly scheduled class meetings, I will be doing Zoom sessions on Fridays. So if you are in section 8, 1240 to 135. If you're in section 15, that'll be 150. And then if you're in section 26, that will be that'll start at 3 o'clock. I'll post something up to basically allow you to sign up for that or the information. I've got to sign up for the MTSU Zoom account. And once I do, I will send all that out. But I want to remain in contact with you. And to be clear about this will in no way affect your grade because I know a lot of you guys can't be there at that particular time. And I don't want anyone to think they need to be there. This, to be clear, will not impact your grade. You can come if you want to learn more. If you're busy with other things, I understand. This is simply so that I can remain in contact with you and make sure that those of you guys who learn better face-to-face or something like it will have the opportunity to interact. So that will be up soon. I should actually go ahead and stop here and tell you that the midterm exam grades will be up by Wednesday morning. Apologies for that. So let's go through the new grading system. All right, for participation, I know some of you guys had questions about that. Let me be clear here. If you do every single assignment between now and the end of the semester, that means all of the lecture quizzes, which I'll talk about here in a second, all of the reading quizzes, and the primary source assignment, you will be guaranteed a 100 for your participation grade. That is to incentivize you guys to stay on top of it and do all of the work. Just by doing the work, you will get that. So that's one way. If you don't turn in them, then I will factor that in with your previous, the notes that I have from before and come up with a grade there. But don't stress it. It's really hard to do poorly on the participation grade no matter what. And you can definitely get a 100 no matter what happened before. The reading quizzes will continue on exactly as they have before. There will be readings, sometimes viewings each week. Same format there. The grades from before will carry over, and the new grades will add in. Two lowest or drop. There you go. The Constitution and Bill of Rights quiz, still 10%. That's locked in. You know what it is. Midterm exam number 1 is worth 15%. Those grades will be up soon, and you can check those there. Now, here are the big changes. Instead of having a second midterm and a final exam, I'm changing it to where all of that grade, 30% of the class, will be based on what I'm calling lecture and documentary sheets. The way this works is you will go, whenever this lecture's up, you'll notice it'll be lecture sheet 1, lecture sheet 2, and it will all be related to each individual lecture or documentary. There will be a list of questions, and you can essentially answer those as you go through. So watch the lecture, watch the documentary, write down the answers to the questions as they come up. When you're done at the end of the week, they're numbered accordingly. So like this is lecture 1.1. Wednesdays will be 1.2. Friday will be 1.3. And that the 1 in that means that's lecture or documentary sheet quiz number 1. The next week it'll be 2.1, 2.2. That's just to make it easier. You go and you fill out the quiz. There's no time limit on them. And what you can do is you'll know the answers. It is by doing this work, by keeping notes and by staying on top of things, that is an easy 30%. So you're looking at if you turn in everything and you keep up with these lecture sheets, do everything right in that sense, 40% of this class is going to be a 100 for you. So that is my opportunity to say, here, I understand that you're working and this is a hard time, but also I want to make it where if you keep up, just continue to learn, continue to follow with the class, you'll do fine. Deadlines. This is a big change. Whereas before the reading quizzes were due each week, now every single assignment in this class is going to be due May 7th. That's a Thursday. It's the last day of final exams. Every single assignment is due at the latest Thursday, May 7th at 11:59 p.m. Does that mean I am saying that you should wait until the last week to do it? Absolutely not. That would be crazy. But what it's saying is if you go through a week and you get off and you're behind on something, you'll have a chance at the end. You'll have about a week after the last lecture to catch up on everything. So we'll do lectures until the last day of regular classes. If you need to catch up, you can go back and do that at the last week. You could also, and I recommend this, keep up with things week by week. I won't be putting everything up at the same time, as I said. So every week, watch the lectures, do the notes, go do the quiz that will be posted on Friday of that week. And this class will not be overwhelming if you keep up with it. So there you go. There's that. Primary source assignment. This, I'm going to post the guidelines for this probably in early April. This is not a very difficult assignment either. It's just going to teach you how to use the online tools that MTSU has to get primary sources on 2 different sides of a historical issue. So there you go with that. I'll explain more in the video once we get to that one in the lecture video. So nothing too challenging. I believe you all can do it. And if we can't teach you a lot of things now that we're online, one of the things you can learn is how to use the online resources. And the library has some great ones there. That's about it there, I think, with grading. Yeah, obviously, guys, you can use electronic devices in class now because the whole class is just an electronic online device. Just to be clear here, the deadline is May 7th at 11:59 p.m. for everything. But that is the absolute last moment that you can turn it in. I'm giving you that because I don't want to make it earlier and then give you a late penalty or something like that. This is all on you. So you need to turn it in by then because I've got to get the grades done, turned around, and submitted by the following Monday. If I'm taking late stuff after that, it's going to throw the whole thing off. So I'm giving you till literally the last possible minute to do this. So make sure you're there doing that. Please do not ask me for any extensions because, I could set the deadline. I could play a game and set the deadline at May 4th and then, give some leniency after that. But you're adults And so I'm telling you right now, that's the last time you can turn it in. So there we go. So just to recap, we're going to get the most out of this. I know that this is different. I'm not happy about it. But again, like I said, we're going to focus on what we can do and not what we can't do. For you, the reality of life is education is always around you. College is just one form of it. You've probably heard me say that before. You can get a lot out of this class if you put the time in. I'm not gonna design a class that I'm just gonna walk away from. If you'll notice, this is the second time I've recorded this video because I had a setup, didn't work, so I'm changing it. I have literally redesigned my house to have the resources to be able to set these up, to film them. I'm putting time into making sure they're good quality, and we'll continue to get better at that as we learn. But I'm going to be here for you, but you've got to do it yourself. You've got a responsibility to educate yourself. And if you look around the world right now, you will see that we are in a time of crisis. Shouldn't be too unfamiliar, given where we were. I don't know if you remember this, but the last time we left this class, we were talking about the 1930s and how American capitalism was breaking down. It took new ideas to save it. The ideas came from people who thought hard and worked hard and made sure that they educated themselves. And these people came from a variety of backgrounds. But when it comes to solving big problems, you need people who are educated, not just in one thing, but people who can think broadly. So I'm going to give you some great resources. I want you to step it up. Because really in life, there's no other option. I can't just be here to give you numbers and grades and everything, and then you think that if you get a good grade in the class, you've learned something. This is all to you. Can you game this whole system that I'm setting up and just get an A and not learn anything? Yeah, I'll be frank with you. I'm not dumb. Well, I used to be dumb. I went to community college for 3 years and never finished my 2-year degree. Some of you guys are pulling scams in the classroom that I invented back in the 90s. So I understand how you can game these things, but you're not here for a grade. You're not here for a letter. You're here for an education. And right now, time for you to make that decision. And I hope that you will join me. And I hope you'll be able to make some of these Zoom meetings we do on Fridays. And I hope you will remember that my commitment to you does not change because I am no longer on campus. We will get back to campus. We will thrive. And when we do that, just remember that even though we last saw each other in March, I'm here for you. That's my job. I don't consider my job just to teach this class. If I can help you during this semester, if I can help you afterwards, let me know. Last thing, a note on this week's readings. One of them is a really solid documentary on the housing administration that's set up in the Great Depression. I loved it. And one of the reasons I loved it is very provocative. It relates things to the present and proposes some solutions. I don't usually go in this direction in terms of like laying something out this clearly angled, but the information is solid. So just know that it's on solid information. We can all reach different conclusions, but I figured we start off with something strong. And you can debate me, or you can debate, not even me, you can debate the video. I like giving you guys something like this to start off with, just to get your blood flowing. And finally, I've opened up a Q&A board under the discussion tab, and don't worry, we're not doing discussion boards. Yeah, we're not. But if you have a question for me about anything in the class, you can post it there. And if you send it in video form, I will respond to you in video form. Just the only deal is I ask for permission to use your part of the video so that I can play the question, make a video, and post it for everybody. So there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the rest of your life. Let's make it go. See you next time. Oh yeah, one last thing. Green screen.